Hey guys, it's just me, Midlife Wanderings. We are now on episode 4 with our Philippine trip preparation. With all these constantly changing protocols and requirements and all that kind of good stuff, you have to be on top of everything so that you won't miss anything, right? So today I would like to talk to you about a little bit about some of the requirements and some tips and ideas to make if you are planning to travel to the Philippines like me. So these are the things that I have learned and I have gathered from websites, different websites like the CDC, Embassy, from IATF, from the Department of Health, listen to the news and all that kind of stuff. That way I won't be missing anything, because apparently there's a lot of things that you need to get before you can travel to the Philippines. So here we are. Let's start with our episode 4. I have lots of notes here. So I have learned that as of January 16, the RTPCR negative test result is required 48 hours before departure. Dati kasi 72 hours ang RT-PCR, but then they changed it to 48 hours, which I don't think I like it, because I don't have enough time. Considering that a lot of people are doing testing, the test results do not come like quickly as it used to. So you might get your test result like late, and your flight is today and you still don't get it, and you still don't have your test result. That's why I do not like the 48 hours. I'd much rather have the 72, because then that would give me an extra day to work with, right? Okay, so this is for everyone who's traveling 4 years and up. Of course, 3 years and below are exempted. So when should you take your RT-PCR test? In our case, we are leaving March 3. I will take my RT-PCR test like 2 days before. So I will be taking it March 1. My flight from San Francisco to Manila is 9:30 p.m. So I need to get my testing done the 1st of March at 9:30 p.m. That would give me 48 hours. What is important is that your RT-PCR test should be done within 48 hours from your time of exit. We will be flying from Kansas City International Airport, and we will be landing in San Francisco. That time does not count. What counts is our time when we exit out of the United States going to the Philippines. So the time that would count would be 9:30 on the 3rd, 9:30 at night on the 3rd. That's when my exit time would be. So your test results should be within that time frame. Does it make sense? 2 things that you need to do 3 days before your flight. You have to register at One Health Pass. You can just type it in onehealthpass.com .ph, I think, and then you register yourself and whoever's coming with you within your household. Then you will get a QR code. You print it out and you bring it with you on your flight. Also, you have to download and install Trace app. Trace is a nationwide and a unified contact tracing system in the Philippines. So you need to do those. You also need to know other airports requirement kasi some flights may be rerouted because of the travel cap. As of January 12, only 3,000 per day are allowed. So some flights may be rerouted. Okay, Manila, Cebu, Lawag, Bohol, Clark, Subic, and Davao. They all require One Health Pass, except itong dalawa. Itong dalawa, if your flight, halimbawa, you're supposed to land in Manila, but then your flight is rerouted to Clark. Clark also requires, in addition to One Health Pass, nagre-require din ang Clark na mag-register ka sa PadLab, which is the company or the lab that you will use to get tested while you're in your quarantine. Okay, so that's another requirement on top of the One Health Pass. If your flight is rerouted to Davao, then you need to register at Safe Davao QR on top of the One Health Pass. Yun lang naman. Those are the only two that there's additional registration. So now you got all those registration, you got your QR code printed, and you downloaded your Trace app, and what else? You got your 48-hour RTPCR test. Now you need to have a hotel booking. That's they're going to look for that booking confirmation when you get to the Philippines. So it's best to have a hotel reservation before you fly. And you only are allowed to stay at book your hotel that's approved by the DOH, depending on where you are from. If you're coming from the green list country, you do not need to quarantine if you are fully vaccinated. Just show your vaccination certificate and you're free to go. Go to your next destination if you are fully vaccinated. Okay, so if you are not vaccinated, coming from the green list country, non-vaccinated, partially or not verifiable, you will need to book a hotel for 5 nights and 6 days. If you're coming from the yellow list countries and you are vaccinated, you're fully vaccinated, you will need to book 5 nights and 6 days. If you're not vaccinated, partially vaccinated, and not verifiable, you will need to book 7 nights and 8 days. If you're coming from the red list countries and you are fully vaccinated, you will have to book 7 nights and 8 days. If you're not fully vaccinated, partially vaccinated, and your vaccination cannot be verified, you will have to book 9 nights and 10 days. So apparently on the 27th of this month, the IATF and the Department of Health will have a meeting. On the 28th, we will hear a change in protocol again. You know, maybe because I heard that Joey Concepcion, the presidential advisor for entrepreneurship, is really pushing towards getting rid of the hotel quarantine and do home isolation instead. So he said, and I quote, "Let's make it easier for everyone to travel." Yay for Mr. Concepcion. He also suggested that there should be no need for 48 hours RT-PCR. Instead, like antigen na lang kasi mas mahal nga naman ang RT-PCR, ano? And he noted that before Omicron, nagiging 3 days na lang ang quarantine. So we can gradually go back to 3 days and eventually get rid of the quarantine. So we're hoping that on the 27th we will hear good news regarding these protocols and quarantines. Apparently the Philippines, well, the NCR, the National Capital Region, has reached a peak sa Omicron kasi the trend is trending downward na. So maybe by the time JJ and I are ready to go, wala ng quarantine or hindi na kailangan ng RT-PCR. Before you can board the plane, you have to have a negative RT-PCR test, right? So why do we have to quarantine when we get there, when we already have a negative test result? So it doesn't make sense to me. I hope that the IATF and the DOH would really do away with this quarantine and RT-PCR test. I mean, RT-PCR test is necessary to me, but if you tested negative, there's no point quarantining for 5 days, right? Why can't we just go to our final destination and then isolate ourselves for 5 days if they want to, instead of staying at a hotel? So anyway, those are just my thoughts. It's a challenging time. Gone are the days where we get so excited going back home. Now it's like it's a stressful time. Just thinking about, needing all these, and just thinking about how it's strange. I don't think we're ever gonna get back to normal. So anyway, but I still want to go because I have a house to repair, and I want to help with the cleanup and the rebuilding. So that's what's pushing me to go. If not because of that, I can just wait, and I could just wait until things settle down. So anyway, that's my update, And I thank you guys for watching. This is Midlife Wanderings. If you have any questions, shoot me an email or message me, and I will try to answer it the best I can. Things change constantly. Protocols and requirements constantly change. They cannot make up their mind. So I will try my best to be updated, to be constantly updated so that I can keep track of new travel requirements. I hope you continue to follow me, and I will see you on my next vlog. Thank you so much. Bye.